Hello, everyone. Thank you for the presentation. So I'm Francesco. I work in the library for the research data team. Of course, in a way, I also try to represent all the library, but of course, Christian already did a very good job, and the open access will not be represented now in these slides, but of course, keep in mind 10 minutes already for research management is not that much, but I will try anyway in some sort. I will try to focus on sharing from there to start from the general way. Okay. So, and also the approach. Try to picture a researcher now, a researcher that wants to collaborate or needs to collaborate. Already can be also a professor, a postdoc. Already a lot of things, a lot of duties, let's say the scientific part, of course, the analysis, machines, software, group meetings, writing for grants, and so on and so forth. And what about the sharing? Sorry, I have to stay still. Okay. The sharing is a very central part of all collaborations. We try to focus on data encode here, and not just data encode, but active data encode, which is the one collected, gathered, generated during the project. This is different from publishing. Publishing might be seen as a milestone, as something that you put in the report. The final part maybe or some of the milestones. That depends, but in this case, let's try to focus on the sharing during the project, because this is also the key component to arrive to the publication also of data encode in a proper way. So our researcher has already to collaborate inside EPFL with the research group or other groups, maybe a couple of universities in Switzerland, possibly, depending on the funds and scientific area, there will be collaborations at the European level. Why not? Depending also on the convention of the 108 and whether all the ethics part have been curated properly, there might be other collaborations around the world. Now, the sharing is kind of a very, very practical element of collaboration. Implies storage somewhere and provide the accesses for someone, somewhere, in some way. So a lot of possibilities. Let's exclude some of them, even though I know some are used. But let's exclude the physical hard drive in our laptops or thumb drives. What about institutional servers or maybe online cloud? Why not? Online cloud is the most used one in any case. The IT of the EPFL already provides many solutions for storing. There is the NAS, which is the server, the S3, the Google Suite, which is not exactly only EPFL, let's say, and Switch Drive, which is already at the Swiss level. Each and one of them comes with different pros and cons. But how to make them good, functional for the international collaborations? This might be not clear. In any case, each solution comes with some limitations, and each solutions needs some invitation or request to access. This might be more or less easy. And there are many solutions. So let's talk about one that is now one of the main solutions, which is cloud storage. We ask researchers to have a couple of questions, as was said before in many instances today. For instance, is this going to be your unique solution? Because otherwise there might be some problems. Big fails exist also in big tech. And what about the data protections? So I will not go through this field, it's already covered, but these are some part of the questions that we might ask the researchers. And what about the other platforms? A lot of researchers use GitHub. We know for a fact that the EPFL researchers use a lot GitHub, GitLab, the GitLab of the EPFL. So is there enough storage? And is this for free, or how? Do you comply with the other countries' laws? And will this platform provide with a persistent link to your research output? Well, one might say, okay, but data repositories exist. They provide a persistent identifier. They will provide a lot of space, in many instances enough. They might be maintained by no-profit organizations with all everything is compliant, but these are not really done for active data encode. What happens is that these are usually very good for the publication part, let's say for the open research data, but not really for the active data that need to be accessed frequently during the research. So many solutions exist, but there is no one that is perfect for every case. Of course, this is clear. So privacy, ethics, licensing, and so on and so forth. Different axes exist. The infrastructure is crucial for this. The software and the formats, are they using the right formats that everyone can read? What about the facility and computers, the protocols, do they work the same way everywhere? And are they adopting metadata or other kind of standards? So from, let's say, from the local to the global, some questions arise or should arise, and the picture becomes blurred. So if you want a functioning collaboration, first, it's much better to agree on a common strategy for research data management. So every time you see RDM is research data management. So the way you manage the data for research. Well, why don't we write everything on one piece of paper or somewhere else? The data management plan is there for exactly this purpose, to make people agree on a strategy and to write it down to make others, the researchers, follow this strategy. Data management plan, so it's just the tip of the iceberg. You can see here it's just the screenshot of the SNSF platform, but there are others. There is also the one for the EPFL from the EPFL. And yeah, what about the iceberg? Sorry, the pictures are not really nicely watchable. You can actually see, maybe there was an iceberg over there. So once you agree on a strategy, you write it down. You found the perfect sharing solution, but now you have to work as a researcher by following this strategy. You have to put the convention of the file naming in practice. You have to actually use the standards that you decide during the data management plan. Maybe convert everything in open formats in order for everyone in every country to be able to actually read those files. Add out the strategy for backups. Anonymize as soon as possible, please, and so on and so forth. And of course, we have to keep track of all the possible practices and tools specific to the domain of research. Yes, so there are services for that. So the researchers should not despair. We have seen today, so thanks again to Kristen. There is the library as one part of the puzzle for the research data management services. We cover a lot of these areas, of course, but we try to collaborate with the faculty ITs, the central IT, the Human Research Ethics Committee, DPO, Technology Transfer Office, and so on and so forth. Just to cite a few. And, well, the booth is there. You know our faces. I wouldn't like to see that we represent of the library, because the library have other topics. Of course, there is the open access, there is the training that we provide to the researchers and students. So, but we all have different specialization. We come from different fields, and we can accompany the services, of course, and the researchers in this journey. Thank you.